Alright, Caleb Rao here with another video. Today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite baits. So we'll start off. First bait is the Heddon Tiny Torpedo. This is a great top water bait. I really like it. It's small enough for really any size bass to come after it. You can walk the dog with it. It's not quite heavy enough to cast it with my bait casting gear, but it's still a pretty good top water bait, and I've been using them for a long time. It was my very first artificial bait I ever caught a bass on, so this was definitely a keeper for me. Alright, next up we have your standard crankbait. This one's a little bit smaller. I've only caught a few bass on crankbaits. They're a little bit difficult in my pond because of all the sticks and stuff, but other places they're really great. This is a smaller crankbait. I also have, this is my absolute favorite crankbait. It's a crawfish pattern, and there are lots of crawfish out here. So this one has actually caught me a few good bass. Alright, next up, we have this worm. I don't really know what to call it. I think it's called the Scoundrel Rig, but the only place I can find it is Walmart. And let me tell you, these work better than a Texas rig for me. As you can see, they got two hooks. They have one here, one here. This blade spins, it displaces water. I just swim them, drop them, wiggle them around. There's really no wrong way to work these. The red one is my favorite color, but they do come in about 5 or 6 colors. They have some curly-tailed ones, but they work. I mean, you can go out and get Texas rigged some worms and stuff, and they'll work fine. But I like this. I put a bullet weight on the front of it. And now my next one. Some people really don't agree with me, but it's in my top 5 favorite baits, and it is worms, real live worms. I love throwing them out there with the cork and a hook, catching brim, whatever bites the hook, I'll reel it in. A lot of people say, oh, only amateurs use live worms. I'm like, well, call me an amateur. I don't care. Sometimes you just want to throw a worm out there and just see what bites. And I do that a lot whenever the bass aren't biting artificial bait. I brim fish, you know. So, yeah, I use worms. Sue me. And last, but certainly not least, you knew this was coming. We have the rooster tail. I love the rooster tail. They're cheap. They're heavy, even though they don't look it. You can cast them a mile. They don't get hung up as easy as you thought they would with the single treble hook. But I love using the rooster tail. I've caught that last few big bass on a rooster tail. I love how there's such a variety of colors, of sizes. This is the biggest rooster tail I own, and then we have this really small one right next to it, you know, and you've got everything in between. I love using the rooster tail. It is my favorite bait, and I love it. Alright, now this is a Heddon Junior Spook, and it's actually pretty big. It's the biggest bait I own, and it's not in my top 5 baits. I like using their Tiny Torpedo better, but this one works in some situations. It's better to walk the dog on, and you can throw it farther. But I have a little story to tell about this one. The other day, 2 days ago, I was fishing from the side. I usually go out on my boat, but the boat wasn't aired up, and so I decided just to see if bass were biting from the side. So I was throwing this out there. I just got it the other day, and there's this crane, this huge 6 foot tall 6 foot wide wingspan, white, beautiful crane, flying around the pond, scooping up fish, landed on sticks and stuff. And it was elegant. If I had my camera, I'd be taking pictures. But I didn't have my camera with me, so I just kept on fishing. This bird came and landed not 10 feet away from me and was eyeing my little junior spook. And so he came over there, he flew ever so gracefully, and he picked up that bait and he started to fly off with it. And I wasn't thinking I'm about to catch a bird. I was thinking, he got my bait. I paid $8 for that. So I just kind of popped it out of his mouth. He did that 3 times. He came after my bait. And it was kind of neat. But I'm glad I didn't hurt the bird because it's a very pretty bird. But yeah, that's my top 5 favorite baits and a little story to go with it. Thanks for watching. This has been Caleb Rao.